Professional networking can be one of the most important skills that we learn as a business professional. I want to introduce you today to another concept, however, which is called netweaving. So professional netweaving. We'll show you how that works and how it's different from regular professional networking. First, some observations, however. So people with better professional networks tend to earn more and get promoted more frequently than people who don't have better networks. So it's a reality of the world, and it's great to have a good professional network. Second, professional networking can trigger social anxiety, especially in introverts. So if you're like me, you tend to be a little bit more on the introverted side. We all know natural networkers, but that's not always us. So planning in advance and thinking through some of these things before you actually do them can be a real boost for people who are introverts. Many people have a love-hate relationship with professional networking, often because they feel very transactional. Rather than looking to get something out of every conversation with people, let's talk about what we can get and what we can give, more importantly. And lastly, here on this one in the observation section, is some people are only interested in what they can gain from a new contact. We've all met this person, don't be this person, but it shouldn't be surprising that they exist. So try not to keep your interactions with people in a networking event or even in the office on a transactional basis. All right, so 5 steps to professional networking. Number 1, know yourself and know your needs. We're going to cover that in a little bit more. Number 2, set some strategic objectives. What do you want to accomplish with this networking? Number 3, establish tactical goals and plans. Once we have the objectives established, what we want to accomplish, how are we going to do that? And that's what we'll cover real briefly in the tactical goals and plans. Fourthly, we're going to introduce net weaving and what the difference that can make in your networking. And number 5, we're going to follow up on some commitments and maintain your network. It's a vitally important aspect to networking and net weaving. All right, number 1, know yourself and your needs. What is your personal value? What can you offer another person that they can get from their interaction with you and get from knowing you? What can you offer somebody else? Keep this in the back of your mind, do an inventory, and think about this in advance before it comes up in a conversation with somebody so that you know what your value is for somebody else. And remember, it doesn't always require professional knowledge or skill on every occasion. Sometimes it's a personal skill, an experience that you may have, things that you know about a vacation area, where you grew up that might be interesting or valuable to somebody else. Know your needs. What is it that you need to get out of a professional network? So that when somebody says, hey, what can I do for you? You actually have an answer. So understanding what you need, where your professional and personal needs may be, is an important factor to plan in advance as well. Might be knowledge, skills, connections with other person that they can offer to you. This could include coaching, opinions, guidance on navigating a company or breaking into an industry for that matter. Sometimes the other person knows who the other person knows may be most valuable for you in the future. So you may not know who they know initially, but by getting to know them better, you might be introduced to their network, and as a byproduct, you can introduce them to your network as well. All right, some professional networking strategic objectives. So number 1 is let's have some mutually beneficial connections here. So we want to make sure that the network is going to be beneficial for everybody, and that's why we're going to meet people, and we're going to be looking for making sure that it's a mutually beneficial connection. Number 2, we're going to be more than just seeking a job. I think one of the things that annoys people most is people who are looking for a job, especially if they don't have a job to offer. So there's another aspect we can take there. It's not just seeking a job. It could be seeking a connection, where you can learn something about an industry, something about a company, something about a person, and actually generally care for a person and what they're going through and what they need to. This is more than small talk, but it can start there. So professional networking from an objective perspective is, yes, we want to be able to get to know a person. It doesn't have to be all superficial conversations. It can start there, but then you can go deep. So where did you grow up? Where are you from originally? that can launch into a whole bunch of conversations about what they liked about the area that they're in, where they started their first job after college, and those types of questions and conversations. Lateral connections. Who do you need, or who do you need to know at the peer level, at your peer level, both in your organization and outside of your organization? Kind of a same level, a horizontal type of move, who you can meet and learn about their experience. And then there's also vertical connections. These are people who are either at a higher or a lower level within the company from a hierarchical perspective. And this could be people who can help you on your journey, you may be able to help them with people that they need to know too, especially if they're hiring and you're not necessarily it. Maybe you know somebody that can help them out too. Establishing tactical goals and plans is the third step here in professional networking. What steps will help you achieve your objectives? So as you continuously look to expand your network, and you plan to do this and plan the number of contacts, dream big. Who do you know? Who would you like to know, and why? And of the people in your network, who would you like to know better? So hold yourself accountable to hitting some of these goals, and tactically expand your network and continue to make your network better in terms of what you know about people, what they know about you, how you are helping people, etc. Now, let me introduce the Netweaving difference. This is something that can make a significant difference in your networking world, in your world of professional networking. Networking is about connecting people when you have little to gain from the introduction. What I mean by this is you may meet two people, one person, two person, and what do they have in common? What do they need that you don't necessarily have? Introduce them together. Introduce them to each other. And this is what we mean by net weaving. So there's an opportunity to help another person, help two other people at least, achieve what they need. And this is, again, why it's so important to help to understand what people need and to communicate what you need. If you get that information from multiple people, you can, in your mind, in your database, connect people together and help them out. So listen to the needs of other people professionally and personally. Listen to what others have to offer, both professionally and personally, and introduce them to each other. And that's the net weaving difference. Now, objective change. What I mean by this is, if you look at this diagram here on the right-hand side, especially for Christ followers who are concerned with the welfare and flourishing of other people, networking is not just about yourself, what you can get and how you can benefit from communicating and connecting with another person. Again, this gets into the net weaving concept of what can you offer other people and who can you introduce together. So purposeful introductions are extremely valuable, and that can make a significant change. All right, so last item here, how do we maintain a professional network? Number one, plan to a regular and personal communication. Make a phone call list, send a text message, forward something relevant to that person that might be interesting to them based on what you know of them. What can you offer the other person that may help them? So along your way, as you're growing in your career and your personal life, remember that there are things that you know, things that you run across, and ask yourself, what can I offer to this other person and how can I share with them? How can they help you? There may be an opportunity when you are talking with somebody, you know what they have. Things in your life may change too, and it may be time to ask for something that they may have to offer, who they know, what they might recommend, what they suggest as advice. So, just in quick summary here, the 5 steps to professional networking: net weaving, know yourself and know your needs. Set some strategic objectives. What do you need to accomplish? Establish some tactical goals and plans. At each event, at every point where you're going to meet another person, what do you need to accomplish from that individual conversation, not just for the event? Net weaving. Remember, keep in mind the people that you meet and who you can introduce them to, and vice versa. And finally, follow up on commitments and maintain your network. Thanks for joining me. Hope this is useful.